believe it or not, I have never seen the MLP EQG special Rollercoaster of Friendship yet. Yeah, it's hard to believe that I am over a year late to the party, and just now I decided, you know what? I'm gonna get off my flank since it's almost time to go to the last BronyCon, and I thought I'd play catch up. For those of you guys, I don't think I've ever mentioned it in the video, but the AC has been broken for a while, but finally it's fixed. The house is actually livable and actually feels better again. So now I can actually work comfortably again, so I'm gonna be playing catch up over these next few days before, you know, August 1st to August 4th, because it's gonna be a 4-day convention. But anyways, back to the main subject. Today I'm going to be reacting to and reviewing MLP Equestria Girls Rollercoaster of Friendship. So this came out a couple of months after Forgotten Friendship, and I'm not exactly sure if this is going to be better or just as good as Forgotten Friendship, because I think you all remember my reaction to Forgotten Friendship and how much I liked it, but I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy this one as much. Apparently there's supposed to be a song in it called Photo Booth, which I have heard a few seconds of, and it sounds pretty good. And in my time test glancing the MP4 file to make sure that the download is working for this video, it apparently takes place at the end, so I guess it's gonna be one of those success songs. So yeah, there's not really much I know about it. I know there's supposed to be some sort of antagonist, but I never really looked into it. So this is gonna be a complete surprise to me, so yeah, and speaking of the latest MLP Equestria Girls special, Spring Breakdown, I haven't watched it yet, but I am going to get to it soon after this one, hopefully. Now, it's not going to be the next video. The next video is going to be a YTP reaction, because I feel it's been a long time since I've done one. But yeah, don't worry, I'm going to get to Spring Breakdown shortly, but for now, I'm just playing catch-up with this. So, time to find out what I apparently missed in the summer of 2018. So, without further ado, let's rock and roll.
Do you even have a philosophy?
GWIQ. Guess what? I quit.
Is she like Photo Finish's cousin or something?
Where am I gonna find a new costume designer for the Light Parade with only 2 weeks left? I'm not promoting you. If only I could put a filter on real life to make everything the way I want it.
I think r/choosing beggars would be a pretty nice place for her.
Equestria Land? Wait, will you get to go there for free?
Actually, they'd pay us to go there. Side by side, caramel apple girls.
Yes, it's not that I'm not.
You almost set off the pinky nuke there, Applejack.
No missed calls while we were talking about caramel apples. Shall we practice answering our phone and sounding calm?
That was too perfect.
I didn't get the job, but I'm really happy for you, Rarity.
I can relate to this so much.
The internet mailman gave you the
I'm supposed to be finding a job after this year's BronyCon, so
No, just a sale at Stinky Bottom's Discount Hat Emporium.
40% off.
what kind of business has that kind of name?
That's Vignette Valencia. She's famous on Snapchat.
Valencia?
You actually log in once in a while.
That's gonna be the hardest name for me to remember out of all the MLP characters, isn't it?
Posts a lot of pictures of her Welsh corgi named Yas Queen. And she's friends with like every awesome athlete in the world. Don't look at me. I only follow bots that post interesting science facts.
These are her pictures. Chillin', Sandy style. You know how I do. I came, I saw, I vintaged.
I've seen this clip before.
Okay, somebody tell me why this picture has 20,000 likes.
Hashtag bangs.
You know,
Oh, no.
for kids.
All that time just to look at the picture ain't my idea of fun.
There you
I'll link what video I'm sort of referring to in the description below.
Rainbooms? Why is that familiar? 100,000 followers? Focused consumer-centric demographic too? Does your curated content consistently aggregate across multiple platforms?
We sing songs together.
I am going to turn you into
Yeah,
a
thanks for translating all that to English, Pinky. Even though I know a lot about technology, I mean, to the average Joe, I don't think they're gonna understand.
Enjoy the park. I'm going to be super busy preparing for tonight. So, let's meet in the staging area for sound check and run-throughs. I have 3 minutes break at 4 o'clock, and I can give you 2 of
For
them.
some reason, I'm getting some sort of feeling as to what might happen.
The Appaloosa Runaway Train! Ooh! Niagara Falls Barrel Flume! These kids are so brave.
Of course.
Applejack, this train is a living, breathing
The first rides I used to ride on were like that, and then I went on the more fast ones, like those little turntable roundabout
You were born
things.
for this rarity.
That's what you want, right? Right now? You're about to yell it? Stop the ride! Seriously! Please, somebody stop the ride! Stop the ride!
I thought that was Rainbow Dash just being sarcastic.
That was actually kind of fun. Totally! That's why I didn't want to get off. I was just saying what you would have said. That's all. You were very brave.
Everyone in the band has a new role. It's part of my bold new vision. All caps, Helvetica 65. Fluttershy, bad girl. Spiked hair, ripped tights. I've already commissioned an A-list graffiti/sneaker artist to tag up a custom guitar.
I mean, an old friend of mine probably would have liked something like that. I mean, he's into the whole femdom thing.
Maybe I, shouldn't do it at all.
You're right. If collabing isn't your thing, that's your life decision to make. But I just thought of a way for us both to get exactly what we want.
You did?
Of course! Getting what I want is what I do best, sweetie. Now say cheese! Sorry, Fluttershy.
I knew that phone was something.
Excuse me. Vignette?
Oh, great. They're back in the void they were in the special mirror magic when Juniper Montage sucked them in with the magic mirror.
Don't be shy. You like prizes? We got
Oh, no.
Swing onto any one of these bottles. Easiest game in the park.
That looks so accurate. That actually looks like something they'd look like in real life.
Looky here. Somebody who knows a thing or two about a thing or two.
Twilight, they're just giving you the old bump and tingle to lure you in. These games are rigged.
Slanderous. Libelous.
Do you know what's not rigged? The laws of physics. Assuming no air resistance and a vertical displacement of 0, horizontal displacement equals initial projectile velocity squared times the sine of twice the launch angle divided by the acceleration due to gravity.
Keep doing what you do.
Hey, Rarity. How's it
I
going?
wasn't having a meltdown. Who said I was having a meltdown? I am not having a meltdown.
Whoa, have you seen Fluttershy? See, she went wandering off with Vignette and then just disappeared.
Are you honestly asking me this right now?
Oh, it's not that I don't trust Vignette, if that's what you're thinking.
We're in a giant fun park with 50,000 people. Of course you can't
This-
find her.
This venue, I don't even remember, has some sort of magic around her, kind of like the sirens do, affecting everybody negatively around
And
them.
if you ain't gonna worry about her,
On a side note, do you have tickets we could borrow? Kinda used them all.
Wait, this whole Equestria land has...
I don't
This-
like to lose.
Okay. Is Applejack gonna be the only one left standing?
You like the uniform? I made it out of things I found in the trash, but you can't even tell.
so, have you seen Fluttershy anywhere?
But I...
Hey, listen, lady. How about you just take a parakeet and go home?
It's not about the parakeet!
Why didn't you tell me you were a deputy fun inspector? I am so sorry about that, ma'am. Here's my workstation. It hasn't been fun inspected in years.
I'm trying to tell you, My friend made this badge. It ain't real.
Yo, an undercover fun inspector. I get it. Anyway, having fun, not inspecting my workstation. Wink, wink.
How many times do I have to say it?
Rarity told me you're the coolest, smartest friend who knows what's the opposite of down. What's up?
I mean, I think I can see where this is going, but
New vision for the rainbows that you are
I feel like this is beginning to suffer from the same problem Rainbow Road Trip suffers from. It's not really the most original thing around.
I know you're stressed, Rarity, but I'm sure you've got something totally amazing up your
Wait, so some aren't affected?
sleeves with amazing things up them, right?
Stop! Oh, not everybody stop. I just met my friends. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. Sewing up them, clothes.
Where have you been?
Nobody go anywhere with Vignette. Understand?
Not really.
You can explain yourself to the parade. I'm sure.
No, Rarity. Vignette is evil.
Applejack, she can hear you.
She's done something to Fluttershy. And I saw her from the security office when she made Rainbow Dash disappear with her phone. 10 eggs in a chicken coop says it's equestrian magic.
Wait, some of them still are sort of themselves?
If you're
Okay.
so innocent, then how do you explain this? Say goodbye to your mannequin thingy.
Of course, she turned it off.
Hang on.
This is what happens when you know nothing about technology.
I think I hashcabbed my snap tagger all in the. I can't figure out these new fandangled apps. That sounds just like Granny Smith.
I just saw your friends. They're in wardrobe.
She's like a younger version of my mother.
Are you sure? And looking good in your costumes, by the way.
Applejack, the parade is less than an hour away.
This is bigger than the parade, Rarity.
Nothing's bigger than the parade, Applejack.
I know you didn't just say that about your missing friends.
I'm gonna let you two sort this out amongst yourselves.
Applejack, admit it. You don't care about my parade.
My parade? This isn't about you. She's done something to our friends.
Is this about our friends or about you and Vignette? Ever since she gave me this opportunity, you've been jealous because she sees my potential, but she didn't hire you. You guys, stop.
This isn't like you.
You're so blind you can't even see she's using you. You only like her because she's always blowing smoke up your chimney. But that's everyone. She's not special.
Nice way to censor that.
Maybe I should just go.
Maybe you should.
Yeah, now I'm getting flashbacks to that conflict scene from the movie.
Applejack, wait!
Waiting is for waiters, ladies. We're better off without her.
We?
The throwbacks, formerly known as the Rainbooms.
Hang on. Why does we include you?
Obviously, somebody needs to fill Applejuice's spot, and since it's so last minute, we
Apple juice.
with as much vision and talent as well.
You?
I find that funny because
We'll be playing
my dad once sort of had me call apple juice AJ for short because I used to drink it so much.
Which is her name, by the way, not Applejuice. And you know what? She's not usually one to make things up, like, ever.
So
Yeah, an honest
that's what he
person
said about
is-
you.
It's true. Now,
Yeah, I should have listened to the extra part.
Equestrian magique is all it's cracked up to be. Now then, that's better.
That is just creepy.
Think how perfect
I mean, not as scary as what Wallflower Blush did, in my opinion,
You're
but
not gonna believe your friends, but better. Now we can make the parade exactly how I want it.
How you want it?
For that,
You're also a female Sven Gallop.
Vignette, what is going on here? Where are my friends?
like trapped in the internet as zeros and ones or erased from existence or something?
What?
See, like my phone became magique or something, and now it has this power where whenever I take a picture of something and it disappears. And then I can customize them with a swipe of my finger and make them real again, or real enough. But hey, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and
So what, a 3D printer or like virtual reality?
My friends this instant!
fine. If you want to be with them so bad, I'll do you one last favor. You're welcome.
I can't believe we're trapped in Vignette's
People need to learn how to dive out of the way.
stuck in magical objects.
At least Rarity.
Or at least out of the frame.
Free. Maybe they can get us out of here.
We have to stop fighting first.
We can't just sit around hoping to get rescued. If we're in the internet, we can hack our way out. Well, I can. Maybe.
Oh,
What?
I hope
Is this like a Ralph Breaks the Internet ripoff?
we knew what's going on.
No, I don't know. I mean, I've never seen the movie. I've never really been interested, but...
Sorry, Rare. Guess you're not so rare after all. Okay, that was your cue to disappear.
Never underestimate a good accessory.
Stop unmagiquing my magique thingy.
I can't believe I listened to you.
That has to be one of my most favorite quotes from a villain.
I really screwed things up with Rarity.
Applejack!
Rarity!
Don't go. You were right. I got carried away and let this stupid parade become the only thing that mattered to me. And I let Vignette manipulate me.
What's with the sudden outbursts of
My friends.
semi-naughty words that would normally be used in MLP? It's not a problem, I'm just saying.
Need for fun.
Stop flattering me. I've not finished apologizing.
Yeah, I've heard that there's some Rarajack shipping in this.
Sorry, I lost sight of why we applied for jobs here in the first place.
And I'm sorry I got jealous. All this time I thought I was being honest with you about not liking Vignette. I wasn't being honest with myself. I felt like I was losing my best friend.
You didn't. Caramel apple girls to the end?
Yeah, the blush really makes it all complete.
She confessed! We have to get them out! We have to save them!
What?
Pretty sure I may have seen some clop art based off of that, but I don't think I was ever paying attention enough to see if it was actually from this.
Twilight?
It worked. Applejack, we're stuck in Vignette's phone. I found a way to hack her Apple Popper app to route a VoIP connection to your IP address.
Magic. Got it.
Listen, come up with a plan to set all this right. You'll need to remotely install a virus that creates a backdoor admin account, which you can use to reset all the permissions on her phone and make a proxy backup. That should get us out of here. How much coding do you know?
Even this is melting my brain a little bit.
Rub two sticks together.
Oh boy. Okay, get a pencil.
Hang on. I think I can hear you talking.
What?
Somewhere close. Really, y'all?
Oh, the phone just teleported us into some random white room in the park.
We were just sitting in a white room the whole time?
But you guys didn't know that?
I mean, that's kind of creative.
Did Vignette take your picture just now?
I was just minding my own business, making perfect caramel apples, when suddenly Vignette saw me and said I wasn't as cool a nerd as she thought. Then she took my picture, and I ended up here, violating all known laws of space and time.
Guys, this is bad. It means Vignette is on the parade route, and she's using her phone to change whatever she doesn't like.
What happens if she decides she doesn't like the crowd?
Everyone in the park is watching that parade. If her phone teleports that many people into this tiny room at the same time...
Squish! My friends are in that crowd. Sweetie Bella's in that crowd.
This is actually kind of scary. That sounds pretty gross. That would be kind of gory.
Someone reminded
Yes,
me
I'm messed up, I know.
Without my friends.
We better hurry. I'm sure Vignette's getting more...
I guess this is what happens when a brony like me plays too much Grand Theft Auto.
Doesn't matter if they're real. It's what you show people online. This is your chance to be everything you've always wanted.
No! It's a chance to look like everything I've always wanted. What
Yeah.
I really want has been right in front of me the whole time. My friends.
Okay, that's kind of new for MLP, so I'm sorry, but the cutie mark symbols on their cheeks makes them look like the toys.
Real-life friends to share in it.
Or oh no, wait, they're not on their cheeks. Okay. Destruction moment, just like on YouTube.
Could things ever be perfect?
I love
So?
nothing more than someone telling me I made a perfect outfit. But I'd say you got a bit carried away.
I guess so.
You guess so? You created virtual holograms of our friends and almost sent an entire crowd of people to Squish City.
More like to Death City, when you look at it from a realistic.
It's not a bad thing to
Thing.
want to be better, but not at the expense of other people, and especially not your friends.
Friends? I have 3 million followers and no real friends. How pathetic is that?
Wow, you don't even have any friends on, like,
If you want,
Discord? I'm saying that ironically since, you know, Discord is the name of one of the... Yeah, you get the joke.
why are they clapping? Do they even know what's going on?
Whoa! The rain booms are trending on Snapchat.
I can't help but crack up at these puns.
Great, ain't ruined that?
I've been on a ride like that. This is nice. More Rare Jack shipping. Oh, you do like the parakeet, okay. Okay, I like this song. I can't help but smile when I hear it. Here's the part I saw while test glancing this. That was... I cannot believe how great of a turn that took. Alright, first off, I must say, this was much better than I thought it would be. Would I say it's better than Forgotten Friendship? Not exactly. I do find what Wallflower Blush did to this day a lot more intimidating. I feel that I liked its sense of darkness more, and personally I just like the songs in it a little more. But this, I would actually say, is almost just as good. Let me talk about the somewhat elephant in the room, Vignette Valencia. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm literally looking at the Equestria wiki article about this special, and her name is there, so hopefully I got it right. She's not personally my most favorite intimidating villain ever, but I think she's one of the most interesting. Now, I am going to say that I'm not really upset with her being reformed, because at this point I understand that villains being reformed in Equestria Girls is kind of a reoccurring thing at this point. The only exceptions I remember were the Sirens, but that just leaves another theory in my mind. Where did they even run off to when Twilight said, well, without those artifacts, they're just a bunch of harmless teenagers? Well, really? Are they just gonna run away from whatever city in that dimension is, or... You know, it leaves me wondering, but yeah, other than that, pretty much all the villains in Equestria Girls have been reformed, including this one. And I'm not mad at that, and the message at the end was a cheesy yet pretty good one. The message was pretty much, like, there's nothing wrong with liking internet-related stuff, you know, getting happy when you get a lot of views or something on the internet, but first off, it's important to have a thick skin and not symbolically want to pretty much kill everybody, because like I said, if you put that many people in that room, they're just gonna explode. I know that sounds disgusting, but again, maybe this is just a result of what happens when a brony like me plays too much GTA. But that's what I envision in my head happening. But one of the messages here clearly is, if you're gonna be, you know, a content creator online or just doing anything in life, you need to develop a thick skin and not want to destroy anybody who doesn't like it. It reminds me of select few people I remember. But I'll touch back on the message in a little bit. When it comes to Vignette Valencia, not the most memorable villain, but definitely a passable one. And it made sense that she had that annoying kind of millennial voice, because she's a person who spent her entire life believing that, only wanting internet kind of attention is gonna make me happy, when she didn't realize that, wait, friends' attention can make me just as happy. And that's why I brought up, like, wait, well, I mean, even if you're not that type of person who likes friends in real life, kind of like me, couldn't you just get, like, Discord or something, or Skype or something? Because you can make friends there, because I'm against the whole argument of, oh, online friends don't count. You gotta make real friends in real life. No, there's absolutely no difference. It's still a person on the other side. And I made some of my best friends through the internet, so I'm kind of living proof that you shouldn't be the type of person who is only hungry for fame. You should be the type of person who, yeah, likes some fame, but always makes time for his or her internet friends, or in some cases even real-life friends. I don't discriminate against people who like mostly real-life friends. But it's interesting to see a moral like that come up in MLP. I thought it was going to be predictable. I thought it was just going to be something predictable, which was something I was worried about, but no, that's what I meant by the end of the reaction sequence, that I absolutely love the turn that this special took. And I'm almost just as happy as when I was reacting to The Point of No Return from Season 9 about a couple of months ago, because I liked the way it took a turn from boring to something not only relatable, but interesting. To something that was not only relatable, but interesting. Now to address this special sense of humor. As I said, one of the things that I was saying that I was loving about this special so far was its sense of humor. I can't get over the fun inspector part. Not only from the perspective of it being an idea mostly, well, shown to the audience through Pinky, but the fact that one of the security guards, it's not fake to him. It's actually a thing. Maybe it's a fun thing that they have going on at that theme park. You know, hey, you having fun? They do it in a playful kind of manner, not an actual investigating kind of tone like a real cop would, but that concept is not just silly, but I love seeing AJ just driven to the point of, for the love of tarnation. It's not the fact that the security guard thought that she was an undercover. I love this special sense of humor. It's and I like that there's that combined with the really good moral, in my opinion, that's in this. And I like all the other little things too, like all the Rare Jack shipping moments. Yeah, I've heard a lot of that was going to be in here, but I didn't think there was going to be that much. And now to get back to the message, and here's something else that actually just came to my head other than the whole the internet isn't everything kind of message that they were going for. This story honestly kind of reminds me a little bit of the Lorax. Now, I've really only mostly seen the 3D movie version, and I hear that a lot of people say that that version is actually kind of worse than the original book. So I'm not really sure if this comparison is the greatest example, but hey, sometimes I'm willing to accept the fact that maybe I'm just an idiot. But this sort of reminds me of the story in general of the Lorax, because Rarity is basically the guy who wanted to make a successful business out of his invention, and couldn't stop getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. His factories were getting bigger, and the environment where all his friends lived was falling apart from all the pollution in the water and in the air. The fact that his machines were cutting down all the trees. This feels somewhat similar because obviously Rarity always would ideally want a job like this, and kind of blinded by her, you know, wanting this to keep this job, she kind of changes. Kind of like the guy in the Lorax who wanted to make that successful invention and make a lot of money was. He he became overtaken with greed and he changed as a person from what he used to be. So this sort of gives me the same vibe as the Lorax, and for some reason I've always liked story arcs, or not story, I just like that kind of story like that. I don't know what it is, but it's just been one of my favorite story layouts. And to get back to pretty much the main moral, the internet isn't everything. I can see what they're going for, and maybe they didn't intentionally mean this, but if they did, I do slightly agree with it to an extent. Because, like I said, I don't agree with the whole stance on, oh, online friends don't count, you need to make more friends in real life. Well, the thing is, I'm a type of person who doesn't really care too much for life for personal reasons. However, I have found that the internet is an alternate way of giving me that social interaction that I want. And a few pile of you may know that I'm not at all interested in a romantic partner, but I definitely don't mind having just that group of good friends. And even though I may not be seeing and feeling them in real life, which in reality I don't really want to touch them because, again, I'm not too touching and intimate like that. In fact, I don't usually like being touched. Unless it's a bro hoof or just a soft little friendly non-kissing hug, I don't mind that, but... And I'm not usually the one to initiate it, so I don't really like contact with any other human. But the internet allows me to just have very meaningful conversations with my best friends through a safe distance. So, in case someone is a little too grabby or doesn't know how to keep his or her hands to themselves, they can't hurt me because they can't reach through the screen. There's definitely a lot of benefits with having most of your friends on the internet. I am a living example of that, so... For those of you who have parents or just people who keep telling you, oh, your online friends are meaningless, only real-life friends count, just don't listen to that crap. If you want to make your best friends on the internet, and you've had said best friends for a long time, don't let them keep you from that. You know, be glad that you have those friends that you have. Be glad that you can have the wonderful privilege of having that interaction. I mean, I know this is going to sound cheesy here, but friendship like that can truly be magical. And what I mean by that metaphorically is, it can change people positively. It can... Maybe someone may be going through a dark time in their life, or their self-esteem may be at an all-time low, and maybe they just need that someone to talk to. Maybe they just need that someone to reach out to them. And it can be just as effective if you reach out to them over the internet. I mean, the internet grants us a much easier way to reach out to those who are in a very dark place without having to be near them. So, imagine if we were in a world without the internet, and that said person who was going through a hard time wasn't near anybody in, well, real life, because that would be the only thing. It would probably be too late, and they would probably end their life or do something terrible. I didn't mean to get all sentimental and serious and deep like that, but it's just sort of an objective opinion I have against this moral. Now, I don't hold anything against the moral or what it's trying to promote, unlike I do towards a certain other episode. But I just thought I'd interject and just give my stance on that whole thing, but maybe they didn't mean that. Maybe they do also mean, well, hey, I mean, we just mean friends in general. We don't mean just friends in real life. We mean friends. It can be either on Discord or Skype or in real life or whatever you want. So that's why I can let a moral like this go. I can't... This is why my slight disagreement with it isn't going to count it as a flaw in my final verdict. Because I can give it the benefit of the doubt. And I always like a moral that can do that. I like a moral that can just bring up something or a certain subject or just talk about it and state its opinion about it, and I can give it the benefit of the doubt. I like it when things are flexible like that. Looking at the recording thing on my monitor up there, and yeah, okay, I'm just gonna briefly say this. You guys may notice that this video not only has brighter colors, well, I mean, it depends on what you're looking at from, but there's a color setting on my Huawei P20's camera to switch it from standard colors to vivid colors, and it actually brightens a lot of the colors up just in the camera roll. and I actually have it facing the other way. I don't have it facing selfie angle, I have it facing from the front. So that's why the video is in 1080p with 60 frames per second. And I'm actually using my vertical monitor as somewhat a DSLR. I'm not actually using a DSLR, but what I have is I have it plugged into a little adapter. I think it's called a USB Type-C. I didn't look at the box closely, but it does work. And what it does, it connects the phone to an HDMI cable, and I can plug the HDMI into this very monitor that I am looking at the camera roll through right now, so I can use this as my preview. So yeah, just some experimenting I wanted to do. But like I said before I kind of went off on that, looking at the recording amount, duration, I know I've been talking about this for a while, but I absolutely... Did I love it? Yeah, I would say I loved it. It was definitely a good time. It's not just because I'm in a more positive and relaxed mood because the AC is finally repaired. Welcome back the nice Arctic air that I like. Maybe that's why I believe that as a furry that it was a smart decision to choose a husky as my animal, because ironic, I have huskies on my favorite hoodie that I usually wear for videos, but huskies are obviously used to colder environments because normally they're sled dogs or whatever, so I found that a bit ironic, so maybe that's a bit of a smart move that I decided that my animal as a furry, which is one of the things I am, would be a husky, so. But in conclusion, finally coming to a close here, I tried really hard to think of anything that I found wrong with it, but honestly, I didn't. I wouldn't say it's the most memorable thing around, but it definitely wasn't boring either, and I honestly don't find that much wrong with it. So, with all things considered, rather than a boring orange 10 out of 10 paws, or a perfect blue glowing 10 out of 10 paws, which I give to things that I consider masterpieces, I'm just gonna go with the middle, and I'm going to give Rollercoaster of Friendship a green 10 out of 10 paws. This was absolutely, ironically, a fun roller coaster ride. This was definitely a roller coaster for me. This was definitely a fun reaction to film, and I'm just really glad this wasn't underwhelming or boring or a disappointment like Rainbow Road Trip sort of was. Anyway, my name is FrostCloud. Thank you all for joining me once again. Keep it frosty, and have a wonderful day. Broha.